Hi everyone and welcome back to Path of Exile. A new character, you might ask yourself, and the answer is yeah. So let me walk you through what happened. As you can see, I have to do the Epilogue quest, and you might think to yourself, wait, why exactly is that? Yeah, this is solo self-found, guys. This is solo self-found. And I am playing a build that I have developed by myself, so this is a first for me.
By the muscular golden arse of innocence, what was that?
we had to have that voice line in, right? So you might ask yourself, wait, you developed a build by yourself? And the answer is yes, I did. And I was really eager to see if I would be able to get to maps with a build that I designed by myself, and the obvious answer is yes. The not so obvious one is, yeah, kind of. There was a couple of points where I was like, okay, I'm too squishy now. I should invest more into life before I do anything else. And yeah, so this is still with very scuffed gear. Not even all links set up, not even all gems purchased. I don't have a cost when damage taken set up, which I definitely would like to do. But as you can see, it is actually a Freezing Pulse build. Now, I have seen a couple of Freezing Pulse builds. A lot of them went the route of going with totems, right? And the other ones were often going crit. And this is neither of those. This is a very different approach, which is a-okay. This build focuses more on freezing the enemies and spreading the freeze to other enemies, right? I was experimenting with that support gem because you get it in Act 1 very early. And I was like, okay, I want to give this a shot, right? I would like to see if that actually works. And yeah, how it compares. And I have to say, throughout the story, it feels amazing, guys. It absolutely feels amazing throughout the story. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. Except for the squishy times that I mentioned. But yeah, I mean, even with the times where I just flat out died, that's a-okay.
Angles that don't make sense. Shapes that shouldn't exist.
And yeah, I mean, we are pretty much through Epilogue now, which is good.
Just make life complicated.
And we will talk about the gear. We will talk about a very lucky drop I got, which I shouldn't have done. So I don't remember which map I don't have. I think I have a coast one. I'm not sure. Let's just grab the coast one. Why not? Identify that bad boy. And yeah, so I have this Fleet Jungle Valley map of balance, but we will go with the coast map. And that is a problem. Oh no! Where is he? There's the map device. Is it right click? I can't remember. Oh no, it's just, yeah, there we go. Yeah, we fixed that. Good! So, the coast one I said. First map of this character, and honestly, I want to see what happens, right? I really want to see what happens. It feels good so far. And there you can see, that is the plan of the build. And it works very well. Hey, we got a nice shrine, how fitting. Honestly, I'm surprised on how good this works. Because, as I said, this is the first time that I did a build by myself. And we will, hey, a fusing, nice. We will talk about the steps and stuff if you're interested later on in the video. I just want to have this quick little showcase of this map, and after that we can dive a little bit deeper if you guys want to. If you don't want to, you can just skip out and you'll be fine. It is okay, you do not have to watch through the whole thing. But yeah, there is stuff planned for the character, like a couple of upgrades here and there that I'm thinking about. And I might... There we go, that's our first bonus objective completed of Solo Self-Found. That is really, really nice. I do fairly enjoy that, I'm not gonna lie. Sick! Awesome. Let's make sure we do full clear the map though. As you can see with magic monsters, since they do take a little bit more of damage, you sometimes just have to deploy Frostbomb, which I really enjoy, to be honest. And it's the first time that I've actually played around with Frostbomb in conjunction with how's it called again? This one, Spell Cascade. Jeez Louise, that took a while, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's the first time I played around with Spell Cascade, and honestly, it's pretty nice for this ability. We are getting some more maps, which is nice, because what that allows me to do is to apply cold exposure in a good radius around, like not only having 1 but 3 frost bombs. That just covers a larger amount. We do have a curse that you can pull off, and that is something I do want to change. I would like to go away from self-casting the curse to having spell totems, which will take over the curses for me, which is quite nice. But yeah, I mean, I am very surprised how well this turned out. I wasn't expecting much of the build, to be fair. I knew that throughout leveling it would do fine, because almost every witch I level I will use Freezing Pulse for a certain amount of time. So yeah, I mean, I was pretty sure that I could get to at least Act 5 Kitava without any problem. And for the rest, it just, honestly, it took a little time to think how I would like to tackle certain problems.
Much clutter.
But I think we did fairly well, if I do say so myself. So yeah, still more than 50 monsters. That is not good, we do not want that. There are early maps. I should have just alked it, to be fair, but I think we did pick up the one that Kirak gave us. That one was magic, and the one I picked up earlier throughout the story was actually magic as well.
Too much
I
clutter.
will kind of want to take this flask with me. What could we drop for that? Probably the rapier, because we do not need that. But yeah, I mean, as I can see, the chain freezes, and especially cool, in my opinion, is how the freezes go to other enemies, as demonstrated here. That is something that I really enjoy. And, you know, the freezes act as a little bit of a defensive layer as well, which is something I need to invest more. Which is why I want to have a cost and damage taken set up and stuff, right? I need to build some defenses. For now, we pretty much just have life and energy shield and our freezes. That's pretty much what keeps us alive. That was a lot of damage there. That was actually a lot of damage that we took. So you can see that there is need for defensive layers. And honestly, I'm thinking about Steel Skin probably as a guard skill. I think that would probably work the best. I don't know if I want that bound to left click or if I want to have that 5 monsters remain. That's fair enough. Let's identify a couple of these gear pieces. And we potentially will switch some stuff around, to be honest. So,
I found a special item.
there we go. That's our very first bonus objective completed. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so you saw how I was or what my vision was for the build, and this map pretty much showcased it works the way I wanted it to work. So let's discuss the luckiest drop I had, which is this 5 link. This honestly just dropped like that to the floor. 38 life, not so good. 28 cold rest, 32 lightning rest, awesome. We do have an open prefix to craft. That's alright. So that was the luckiest drop, and that allowed me to get efficacy in, which is just more spell damage and more damage over time, and especially useful increased skill effect duration, right? So what I'm trying to scale with this build is the chance to freeze as well as the ailment duration. And we use the freeze and chill to shatter enemies, because if you do that with Herald of Ice, they will explode around you, right? So that was the whole thinking process behind that. Other than that, the wands I crafted in Act 2, just the vendor recipe with a rare ring, a magic wand, and an orb of alteration. And I did that both times for the added cold damage to spells. And after a while I crafted resistances on there so that I'm actually able to be res capped, which we are right now. And the minus 60 to chaos. That's okay until red maps, in my opinion. So yeah, as you can see, we needed a little bit of dex. And that's why we picked up a Jade Amulet very early. After a little bit, I did switch this out, but as you can see here, only plus 15 life, a little bit of int, and the crafted resistance. So easy upgrade there, right? Rings, just what we could pick up from the floor. This isn't really a good ring, but it netted me the last fire res from the implicit that I needed. This one we need to switch out as soon as possible. So what did they get here? 35 fire res, that's pretty nice. But no life, which we could potentially craft on there. Right? Yep. The gloves, they are really nice. They dropped me like that 4 linked as well. Just had a little bit of resistances. The ones that I was missing. The boots, 10% increased movement speed. So these are not that good. Boots, right. The lab enchant netted me adds cold damage if you've been hit recently, which is nice. Helmet, increased shield charge attack speed. That makes me think maybe I want to respec into shield charge for his a second movement skill. Frost shield, I just love the way it looks, and yeah, I mean, it just is a little bit of a safety net for boss fights. I'm using Flame Dash with Second Wind and a low level Arcane Surge, just so we get a little bit of Arcane Surge while we are Flame Dashing around. So yeah, other than that, I'm using Hatred, of course. 17% more cold damage, that helps out a ton. And I'm running a level 4 Clarity. I started with it on level 2. When I got a little bit more mana, I went up to level 3 and finally on to level 4. And I think I want to get that to level 5 potentially. That could be very, very useful. And I'm using Frostbite as my curse, as I said. So I would like to get a custom damage taken set up. The custom damage taken did actually drop randomly. And so that would be a 3 link, so we potentially need to move stuff out of the wand. And yeah, I mean, if we move all the auras into the helmet, that's still 1 slot free, right? So we could potentially do, yeah, maybe. We will see. I really haven't decided on how I want to do that. The belt as well is just a nice life roll and a little bit of rest. Absolutely nothing special, as you can see. Very scuffed gear, but that's a-okay, right? So, oh, that's actually not... That's pretty nice for a wand. I will keep that around. Flask, the only 2 flasks that I rolled are the Bubbling Divine Life Flask of Staunching. I wanted either seething or bubbling on my Divine Life Flask. I got bubbling this time around, but I was like, that's a-okay, right? And I have Staunching on there. because it's staunching, I feel, is very important. So that's that. Also, we did roll the silver flask a little bit, and we did end up on warding, so I definitely want the curse removal somewhere. The Quicksilver Flask of Infliction, that just rolled that way, I need to reroll that, and I just picked up a Basalt Flask to get a little bit of physical damage reduction, right? Of Quickening, why not? That's always fun to use, right? And the Mana Flask is just of Grounding, that just, honestly, I picked it up, I did it, and that's how it came. But yeah, I mean, I will have a lot to do, and we can talk a little bit about the currency we gained, right, through leveling up. For Chaos, that's not too bad for a run through the story. I do enjoy that. 21 ult, that was a little bit more, but that's okay. Some Chance Orbs, some Augments, a couple of silver coins, 2 regrets. A Blessed Orb dropped, actually, that's pretty nice. Only 3 Glass Blowers, Bubbles, but that's okay. A couple of Chromatics, Walls, Scours, Jewelers, and Fusings. Nothing too major. Divination cards, I turned 1 in for an item that we can show off afterwards. And we did get a couple of them, actually. I dropped the Lion, which is quite interesting. But yeah, those are just the ones that you can drop throughout the story, nothing special there. And that's pretty much it. Low on essences because I needed, or I used them to craft the rare rings for the vendor recipe. Didn't do anything in Delft, didn't put away any uniques. Didn't do a blight encounter, nothing like that. We have a couple of flasks on the side. Silver flask, Quicksilver, and actually a Sulfur of Staunching. I used this one until I did roll my Life Flask onto Staunching, right? So this is the item we got. A tier 1 life roll is all that's on it, but that's pretty nice. We can expand on that. That's pretty neat. And those boots dropped randomly in Act 10, so 40 gold res, that is pretty sick, not gonna lie. Yeah, but honestly, that's pretty much all that there was to it. As you can see, I am using 2 jewels right now. First Snow, you get this in Act 5. And yeah, you gain 2 additional projectiles, right? Very amazing to level with. You can use 2 of them. Obviously, I'm in solo self-found, so I didn't have a character in Act 5. But yeah, we could potentially get one of those into this jewel socket, or this jewel socket, or even this one, I think. That could also work. And here I just use the Conqueror's Efficiency. 2% reduced mana reserved. Increased skill effect duration, very nice. Reduced mana cost of skills, also very nice for me, right? The tree is a little bit strange if you look at it the first time, and yeah, I mean, the whole Scion life wheel is pretty much temporary, but I wanted to take it throughout leveling when I was really struggling, and I was on Ash, Frost, and Storm anyway, so I just invested all those points to get a little bit beefier. We could potentially go over and grab ourselves a little bit more life over here. We also will get a little bit of dex here, so that would be useful, right? So that's a note to consider. Cast speed, dex and int, also a good note, right? I was originally planning on going this way as well. And if we do switch to crit any time, I mean, obviously Doomcast and stuff will be interesting to get. 2 more levels and we do have Breath of Rime, so more chance to freeze. And increased freeze duration, increased effect of cold ailments and cold damage over time. So yeah, I mean, Frostbomb could be switched around for Cold Snap. I will see about that. I'm also thinking about if I should do something like a Trigger Wand at some point, if I really play this build any longer. I might do. I haven't decided yet. I'm not done with Trade League or anything, but I really needed a little bit of a break from it. So yeah, that's the current tree. Mainly went for life and mana regen from time to time. A lot of cast speed is involved. We did go Elemental Overload, so yeah, no crits, but we gain 40% more LE damage if we dealt the crit in the past 8 seconds. This is why we pathed through these crit strike chance nodes to get up here. So puffing could probably be very much more efficient, but for now I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. So I did pick up this agility node over here. Just early in leveling, if you have your Jade Amulet and this node, you don't have to worry about any dex on gear, which is why I went that route. So I could easily switch out stuff if I so wanted to, right? And that's pretty much it, honestly. Ascendancy, we went Elementalist. We did take Shaper of Winter. So that's very, very nice. 50% more effect of cold ailments, right? That is awesome. And chills can reduce action speed by up to a max of 40%. That is really nice against bosses, guys. Really, really amazing. After that, we went to Mastermind of Discord. So exposure you inflict applies an extra minus 25% to the affected resistance. Also regen 1% mana. When we do inflict exposure, we do that with Frostbomb. That's why I have the spell Cascade Frostbomb set up, right? So you can see the synergy that I'm trying to achieve here. And my third lab was Heart of Destruction, which I haven't really tested out. I don't know how good Convergence is in boss fights. And the 60% increased AoE, yeah, doesn't really do much for me, right? While we don't have conversions, but I mean, throughout clearing, it does help. I feel like this is up for debate. Honestly, I need to take a closer look at this. I didn't go the golem route. That could be something to spec into, since we do have a couple of golem. Where are they? Oh, that's Energy Shield Leech. Actually, very nice. There are a couple of golem nodes up here, right? Yeah, there we go. So we could get up to 4 golems. That could be something to think about, to be honest. And for now, I really could also spec into the dual wield nodes over here. And maybe, oh, hang on. That could be honestly very, very interesting. But let's go over our defenses a little bit. We don't have a lot of armor, of course. That is to be expected. We don't have much evasion. So we pretty much are just life and energy shield, right? And we didn't scale up energy shield that much. We could potentially grab these 2 nodes for some easy access again. But yeah, there is a lot of room for improvements, and I will probably work around a little bit with this build. And yeah, I mean, seriously, it was a ton of fun to play, to level this build. Herald of Ice is very much fun, and yeah, it's a simple setup, right? And as I said, if we do 4-link these boots or the other boots we have, and really think about what we can do or want to do, I think we can come up with a good solution. Also, I'm thinking of like taking another jewel or 2. I mean, that's 4 levels, right, for 2 jewel sockets. That could help. And yeah, I don't know, maybe go into Stormweaver, actually. I mean, that's just, yeah, some effectiveness and just increased cold damage overall that we could take. So yeah, I mean, why not? That is something that I was looking into, and I probably will take Bastion of Elements for my Uber lab if I go for it, just to get the cannot take reflected LE damage and be fairly safe while mapping. And I need to research the level 20 Primal Eaches when allocated. Okay. So I think that just means... Is it this one? No. Wait, is that on the tree? I didn't... Honestly, I didn't take a look at that at all. But I don't want to bore you right now with that, right? So, yeah, I think it just gives you that, no matter what. So, yeah, that was a really fun experience for me. Life Pool and ES without optimal gear or anything, just with solo self-found, throw together, we are scratching on around 3,500 EHP, which is actually enough, in my opinion, to if you land in maps, right? I think that is that's okay. I think honestly that is enough. There we go. We even did drop a tier 2 map with Moon Temple. Moon Temple, if I recall correctly, can actually drop you the divination card for Sire of Shards, so that could be something to take a look at. I personally don't really like it too much, because you lose the control of where you want your projectiles to go, right? Also, greater multiple projectiles, stuff like that could go into the 6th link. I'm currently still evaluating which skill I want as my 6th link, maybe even Energy Leech or something like that. We will see. Also, as I said about defensive stuff, it might be worth to take a look at endurance charges or at frenzy charges for the cast speed. These are all things that I need to think about and to work out and see what works for me, what I like, what I don't like. These kind of thoughts will have to happen. I might even get rid of the right side of the tree here at some point. We will have to see about that. So yeah, as I said, a lot of stuff that I need to think about. Level 66 after killing Act 10 Kitawa, being res capped, being ready for maps, really enjoyable, really enjoyable. Tooltip damage 26k. That's not too much, right? But I mean, it's okay. We freeze and we do spread our freezes, and that's really nice. What I quickly wanted to check though is my chance to freeze with this. Chance to freeze is 50%. That's pretty decent. So if we look freeze, I think there's not much on the tree that I can do. It's those ones. Yeah, that's another 10%, so that will help out. But other than this node, there's only this one down here. That's a 10% node. This Holy Dominion gives 10% as well. Okay, so you get 20 plus 20, right? No, that's just 30. 30% chance to freeze on the skill tree. The rest comes from the skill itself. 25%. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. And you probably can get some jewels and stuff. This is a jewel that I used until Act 5. That just dropped me like that. 16% increased cold damage, 11% increased area damage. Was nice to use throughout leveling, but I have rambled on long enough. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. As I said, I had a ton of fun putting this build together, and I just wanted to try if I can make a build that gets into maps and can do decently in the first couple of stages of maps, and see what I need to change and what I want to change. And so far, it's looking good. It's looking good. Will this be able to scale up into the end game? I do not think so, but that wasn't the goal of this build anyways. So I think the most important part is done. I had fun. It was very an experience where I could learn a lot again, and that is also something I do enjoy. With that though, I will leave you for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care. Bye.